This morning, let's take our Bibles to First Samuel chapter number 16. Yes, that's the Old Testament. We're going to spend a few minutes there because in this passage that I have for us this morning, we're going to see something that our world doesn't see. In fact, we're going to try to look at things from the perspective that God uses. God sees beyond all the outer appearances, and He chooses people who are at a heart level completely connected to Him, completely pursuing Him. And what's crazy is our world tries to even create appearances, and many people get a free pass because of appearances. But the good news is that's not how God works. And so oftentimes it might appear like things are going a certain way, but God has it all under control and He's working it to a certain place. Imagine how David felt when he was out in the field when Samuel was coming to town and determining to have a meal in their house, and he wasn't invited because he appeared to be the least likely person that anybody would ever choose. And so notice what happens here in 1 Samuel 16, verse number 6. It says, "And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab, which was David's oldest brother, and said, Surely the Lord's anointed is before him. But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on this outer countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as a man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart." And so we're seeing the way God chooses has nothing to do with the way the world chooses. Men get, I guess, captivated by shiny things or by strong things or all those things that we value. But the Lord is not moved by that. He's looking for something very specific, something He can count on, something that He can work with. And that's always going to be the heart. And so finally, they get to the place in our passage where they bring David off the field and put David before Samuel. And this is what he says in verse number 11. He says in verse number 11, "And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children?" And he said, There remaineth the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither. And he sent, and he brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal a beautiful countenance and goodly to look on. So the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for it is he. Listen to this. It is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramoth. And so we have this really beautiful picture of God saying, I'm not going to anoint anyone. This is not going to happen until I've seen everyone. And He chooses the one that everybody else chose to neglect. And so imagine feeling like you're neglected. Walk with God, cultivate a good heart with God, because eventually, God is going to elevate you and He's going to choose you because your heart is strong with Him. And so remember that God doesn't see what man sees, He sees right through, He sees the heart. And so let that be an encouragement to you today. Have a wonderful